All right, guys, it's Daniel the Adjuster again, and boy, I got an interesting video for you today. You guys want to get deployed, right? Adjusters want to get deployed, right? Well, I've got seven important factors that you've got to look into before you're going to get deployed. So stick with us, guys. We're going to go over those together, and you will get deployed. All right, Daniel the Adjuster back at you. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for hitting the like and subscribe button, following my videos up here. I appreciate it. You guys want to learn how to be an adjuster, you just stick around. I'm going to teach you everything I know. All right, so the big question everybody says is, how in the world do I get started in this business? I can't tell you how many times I've had adjusters or potential wannabe adjusters or roofers contact me through the comments or talk to me while I'm on a roof and say, how do I become an adjuster? Well, I'm going to give you 7 quick points. Stick around for the last ones because they're the best at the end. But first of all, I'm going to go through point number 1. Point number 1 is you got to get trained. I mean, think about it, guys. Who's going to hire somebody who doesn't have any experience? No one. So, recommendations. Xactimate level 1 and 2 certification. Got to start there, guys. You got to know this program. There's no beating around the bush. There's tons of online courses. There's firms that will offer that service for you to help you learn how to do it. Strongly recommend it. I did it online, went through a couple different places to try it, but hey, there's tons of great ones out there. Just get certified. Once you have that certification, guys, it's a no-go. I mean, a no-go as in no one can turn you down. As soon as you say that you're level 1 or 2 certified, people are going to go, hey, he knows the program. Let's rock and roll with him. Let's give him a chance. Even if you don't have experience, they're going to take a risk on you guys. Okay, rope and harness training. I know a lot of guys have been writing notes and saying, hey, I'm scared to be on a roof. Don't blame you. I've been on roofs my whole life, it seems. I felt comfortable with it, but still, when I first got started, I pulled out a rope and harness, got trained, learned how to use it, felt really great on those slippery 12s. What I mean by that is when there's no granules on those 12s and you still got to get on them. Even a 10 with no granules, scary, scary roof. But as soon as you're strapped up, got a harness and rope on you, tied to a tree, hey, you're good to go. You can climb all over that roof, even if you're slipping. It's still safe. Some of the carriers will pay for that equipment use, not for the equipment itself, but they'll pay for the equipment to be used. One of my carriers pays $150 every time I pull out a rope and harness. All I gotta do is take a picture of it, they pay it. Hey, what's wrong with that? I do that a bunch, man. I'm gonna make money just using rope and harness. So don't hesitate to get that training, because then you can sell that to whoever you're trying to get hired with as well. So third, learn your house. There are so many things, guys, that you got to learn to do about putting together an estimate for a house. What good would if somebody said, hey, what's a soffit? I don't even know what a soffit is, or a fascia, or a gable, or a hip, or you know, different types of flooring material. Is it engineered, or is it laminate? I mean, guys, you've got to know this product. Get on YouTube, find out, you know, what these products are, be able to distinguish them. And then, you know, you're going to be a pro there. So especially for inside damage, you're not just doing roofs, you're doing lots of inside work too. You got to know whether it's a 5 1/4 base, or 6 1/2, or 4 1/4, or 3 1/4, you know, whatever it happens to be. You've got to be able to recognize that. Now you can put a tape measure up there and do that if you want. That's probably a good thing. But you got to be able to know, is it MDF? Just looking at it. Can I see that it's MDF base, or can I tell if it's solid base? Can I tell whether it's a 2-piece base or a single base? You know, there's lots of things there you're going to have to know, because when you price it out, if you put in the wrong line item, you're going to look really stupid to that desk adjuster and also to the insured. If you put down, hey, this is MDF, and it turns out to be real wood, where it's a 3/4 yellow pine with a solid wood base cap, it's going to look stupid because the price is huge difference. So we want to make sure we price those correctly. You can get lots of training on YouTube, learn all those things, so don't hesitate to do that. Big thing too, shingles. You gotta know what is damaged, guys, and what is not damaged. Got to know what hail looks like. There's HAG certification. Don't recommend it. Just really expensive to keep up. So just, you know, keep that in mind. But their certification book, the HAG book that I have, that shows me between mechanical damage, hail damage, different types of hail damage, damage to clay tiles, damage to shingle, like cedar shingle shakes. These are all really valuable photos that they have there. So you definitely want to take that, you know, into consideration. But still, get online, look at some videos. There's lots of things there on YouTube that'll teach you how to do it. Look at my videos. I'll show you what it looks like as well. All right, so that was point number one. Stay with me, guys. There's lots of information here. All right, so number two, get licensed. Guys, you got to get licensed. Okay, first of all, your home state. Okay, wherever you live, find out if there's a home state. catadjuster.org will tell you a lot of things. NIPR, which is also the place where you get licensed, they'll teach you. Circon is a system that allows you to get your licenses organized. These are all great places to find information about licensing. But you got to get your home license first if you have one. Maybe your license, you know, maybe your state doesn't have one, so that's okay. But just keep that in mind. You're going to have to get a license somewhere else. So the big three: Texas, Indiana, or Florida. You can get those as long as you have your home state. You can then apply for a designated home state if you want to. If your state doesn't have one, you can apply to make Texas or Indiana or Florida one of your designated home states, but you're going to have your own at your home first. My recommendation is Indiana. Indiana's the fastest one to get. It actually reciprocals to more licenses than Texas does. So really, Indiana is the best. Also, Texas is kind of known as the best to get and has been for years. And what has happened is now their licensing department is absolutely crazy, absolutely ridiculously slow. You never get anybody on the phone for like an hour and a half on hold. Absolutely nuts. Indiana, you get a license, you literally get somebody on the phone in 10 minutes on hold time, and you get your license in about a week or two. I mean, it's really fast, guys, super fast. I waited 6 to 8 weeks for Texas. Ridiculous. Okay, so definitely go with Indiana. I don't know much about Florida, but it also does reciprocal quite a bit to different states. So definitely Florida is a good one. Okay, so after you get the main one, you want to look into getting your licenses for just the coastal states. So think about where hurricanes hit. Okay, you got your Texas, Louisiana coast, you got Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, then you got your South Carolina, North Carolina. Virginia doesn't have one. If you want to work the north, great, work that way, but I typically stay away from any northern states, not enough work up there. So get those states that are down the coastline, and then if you feel like chasing storms in Oklahoma, then man, you can do tornadoes and lots of hail damage in Oklahoma. That's a great state to have. Also, Minnesota has a ton of weather up as well. Got some snowstorms, you've got hail, you've got a lot of winter stuff that goes on up there that's really big. Indiana, definitely a great state for tornadoes and hail damage. So another great one, lots of wind damage there. So just pick and choose. You can choose which ones you want. You know, just your choice. But licensing, got to do it. Okay, guys, number three, making it through. I'm trying to rush. We'll make this video too long, but number three, you got to sell yourself. So see the enthusiasm that I have? That is what has got me some work. I'm excited. I enjoy this work. I let people know that. I call them. I tell them, hey, you know, guys, I really want to work for you. You know, just let me know. Let me know if you got a place to go. Offer to move anywhere. The craziest thing in the whole wide world I did one time was I was living in Indiana. A job ended, and I called up my firm, one of the firms I really wanted to work for, and I said, hey, if you could send me anywhere, where do you need somebody? They said, Louisiana. I was like, I don't want to live in Louisiana. But I went. And the reason I did is because they offered me a position immediately, on the spot, daily claims in Louisiana. I got jobs immediately, guys. There was tons of work. I didn't stay there very long, but at least it got me in the door. It let these people know they could call me at any moment, and I was there, okay? So another thing you want to do is get on rosters. Rosters are how you get on to firms to get work. Man, there's like 800 of these guys out there. Well, maybe not that many, but there's a ton. There's a ton of them. So go on to catadjuster.org again, and look for the top 10, top 15. They got them listed by how many hits are on there, how popular they are. Get on there. You'll find a whole list of them. Just sign up. Guys, sign up. There's a ton of paperwork's got to be done. Fill it out. At least you're then on their rosters. I still get calls from people that I filled out rosters for several years ago. Still have never worked for them, but at least I'm still on there. If a cat event happened, I felt like going with them, great, it's there. Get on the forums. There's lots of forums that are out there that also teach you a lot about adjusting. There's Top Adjuster has, I think, one. Adjuster Pro's got one. Then Cat Adjuster's got one. So there's lots of stuff out there that you can just read and learn about things in the adjuster world. So you want to kind of familiarize yourself with them. So if you're sitting there and you're going, hey, no one's calling me, I got my licenses, I'm ready to go, blah, 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 and I'm on these rosters and nobody's calling me, call them. Guys, you don't understand how important that is. You call them, and I had actually a couple managers that told me later, they said, yeah, we were calling for people, and maybe a guy called in and said, you know, introduced himself. He said, literally in 2 minutes after I hung up from the phone, I couldn't remember who he was because I had 3 other phone calls from somebody else. So what I was told when I got started was literally call the guy, and then in about 3 days, call him back and say, hey, just checking back in. I know it's been 2 or 3 days. Just want to see if anything came up. And he might say, no, there's nothing. Then call him back about 3 or 4 days later, maybe even a week later. Say, hey, just checking back with you again. Eventually, he's going to get to know your name and say, hey, Daniel, thank you so much for calling me. I see that you're calling all the time. We just don't have anything. But as soon as something comes up, I'll give you a call. Then, hey, wait a few weeks, give him a call back, touch base with you. Eventually, he's just going to be able to put your name on a sticky note and say, call this guy whenever I have some work because he's ready to go. That's how I got in. Guys, I did it. It works. Do it, okay? They really do like that. Also, go to yearly conferences. Every year, these firms go to the big 5 or whatever. They're a little expensive, couple $300 to go out there and hotel stay. Take a vacation with your wife, kids, whatever, and go out to one of these conferences. Spend a day at one of the conferences. You'll learn so much. You'll talk to the managers. You'll get a face to a name. Then all of a sudden, you'll, hey, I remember seeing you at the conference there. I just want to check back with you, see if you got any work. I mean, I met some of the greatest guys when I went to conferences, and they still remember me to this day. And so I don't remember some of them, but they remember me. So now they put my name that they see on paper all the time to a face, and they're remembering me when they're talking to me on the phone. So conferences are great things there too. Okay, number 4, I told you we'll keep going. Work inside. Okay, so if you're looking for work, you're sitting at home, you're like, man, this is not working. Call up one of these firms and say, hey, you guys got any inside work? Now, inside work, I remember I talked to you about this on other videos, and make sure if you're following me, lots of information, follow and like me, and check out some other videos. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe too. Inside work is how I got my start before doing daily claims. Now, I did do some cat work, but I did inside work before doing some daily work. And inside work was really good because you can get deployed with very little experience to inside work or to the claims departments because they have trainers and managers on site that are there to answer every question for those people that are new. So don't throw that away. Yes, it may take, a little time away from the family. Maybe you want to take the family on a trip. Maybe you want to homeschool your kids. We did that. Take the kids with us, disappear for 2 or 3 months and say, hey, I'm just going out here to learn. Great opportunity to learn. We are up in Maryland, beautiful place for almost a year. Rented a place with the family, homeschooled the kids, had a great time. Got to see DC, history for the kids. I mean, it was a fantastic opportunity. And we worked for State Farm inside doing auto. Okay, so don't forget the remote work. We can actually do remote work as well. Remoting is when you work at your home and you're able to get work from other firms, potentially to work from home. So those are options, but they're gonna be looking for a little more experience before they do that. So auto work, great opportunity to jump in before property claims. Definitely wanna get those. Contract work, okay? Again, that's gonna be State Farm, working at State Farm for another firm, pretending that you're State Farm when you're really not. So it's not a staff adjuster, but you're still an independent working as a contract worker. Those are quick 1 month, 2 month deployments. So they're something you ought to really budget for. Got to be careful not to do too many of those, because they can cost a lot of money if you're trying to save up a place. You're renting an apartment, you're renting a hotel, whatever, can get really expensive. Okay, number 5, cat deployments. Great opportunity for you guys to make some quick money. They take people who have very little experience as long as they're licensed. So get your license, get the experience. Hey, and meaning like training, know what a roof is, whatever. One of my first deployments, I was kind of new at roof claims. Didn't know really what hail claims were or hail damage was all about. I've been on a few, done a little bit, but a no-name company, kind of a smaller company, said, hey, we need adjusters. It was a big event. And they said, come on. I went in, did 25 claims, paid for my hotel and the expenses. Didn't cost me anything. Made a little bit, I think maybe about $5,000. Nothing tremendous, but at least I got the experience. I was able to put it on my resume, and then I was able to use that to get hired by other companies as well. So don't ever pass up cat work. Very, very cool. Now, in order to be ready for cat work, you want to be watching your weather. Get your storm maps, get your hail maps, get these things that are nationwide. Start getting an app that has nationwide weather that you can watch for alerts that come out, and happenings. I remember calling up a firm one time and saying, hey, there was a hailstorm in Indiana, can I go? And they're like, I didn't hear anything about it. I said, man, there's 40,000 houses up there damaged with hail. And then sure enough, they looked into it and said, well, we didn't get the report, but we'll call you as soon as we do. And they called me. And it was just like, I was more informed than they were because they weren't looking for it. So, hey, perfect opportunity for work, guys, is if you're a weather guru. All right, so that's calling the firms and letting them know that, you're available even when the storm happens, and they say, hey, we haven't got the influence in, or the influx of claims yet, so just wait patiently and we'll give you a call. Definitely great opportunity. So don't pass up cat work, catastrophe work, great opportunity. Now, cat work is kind of tricky though, because you've got to be ready. You've got to have your gear ready, your ladders, your stuff ready. They call you fast, okay? So just know that. All right, number 6, get close, big one. Okay, number 6. Okay, most important thing to me, I feel like is important, what hurts a lot of adjusters is finances. Okay, so you're talking about going away for potentially a month away from home. You've got to have the cash set aside. What if you run into gas shortages? What if you run into hotel prices that are through the roof? Okay, I try to set aside cash for those periods, meaning money that I've put aside, put it onto a debit card, put it into a separate account, just so that's there. Don't use credit, guys. Credit will burn a hole through your pocket faster than you can imagine, get you in a lot of trouble when you come home. So set it up on a debit card, have it set aside in a separate account. Then you have that cash set aside. Hey, what does it take to live on a catastrophe for a month? $6,000 in hotels sometimes, for food and hotels. A lot of expense there. Now, that's really nice hotels, and I like staying in a nice hotel because they got the internet, the breakfast, clean sheets, all this other stuff on a daily basis. I don't like these little Motel 6 dumps where they're infested with fleas and ticks and all these other stuff, and I'm like, what in the world? Every dog in the world's been in this house. I'm sitting there going, this is not the place. And then you get into the places and they don't even have a kitchen. They got a little microwave and some little hot plate. And it's like, dude, I want an oven. I want a place where I can crash out. They have a coffee maker. They supply me with coffee every day. I stay at Marriott. You guys stay wherever you want, but a Courtyard or Residence Inn, these are nice places. A little more expensive, but hey, if you're staying there and you're living in, in a place that you have never been, stay in the same hotel every time you go. That way it's, familiar to you, and you'll be thankful for that. So you set aside your cash. Also have that credit card cleared out, so in case you need it. Okay, say you run through all your cash, and the guy says, hey, can you guys stay for another couple months or whatever? We got some cleanup here. That's a term for when everybody else goes home, man, you're rocking and rolling, you're doing a great job, and we'd like you to stay around and help us out a little more with some more claims. That's called cleanup. And if you have some cash set aside, great. If you didn't, and they still haven't paid you, and it's taking a little bit of time for that paycheck to come in, then you're going to need some credit limit there to live on as well. So keep yourself a good couple thousand, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever you think is necessary of available credit for that purpose. It's a great way, guys, to really ensure that you can keep money coming in if you've got the availability. It's not going to hurt you. So think about it. on the flip side, hey, you ran out of cash and you got to call them up and go, hey, I'm broke, I got to go home. And they're going to be like, dude, you still got 10 open claims. It's not going to put you in a very good position, and plus it will give you a bad rap later on. So another big thing is bill pay. Get all your bills on automatic pay before the deployment. That way you don't have to worry about paying your bills or that car payment that's got to come out or whatever. Make sure you have all that stuff done, ready, taken care of, and paid for before you go get deployed, so that you don't have to be stressed about bills on the way home. Okay, here's number 7. Oh, I gotta count. Number 7. Okay, be ready. I mean, guys, what if somebody called you tomorrow and said, dude, we just had this hurricane that just came in on the coast of Texas, and you know, we want you guys to come. Can you come? Guess what they do? They ask you right then and there on the phone call, when do you think you could come? If you're telling them you're a CAT adjuster, then you have to be ready to go. I had a call one time, somebody said, can you be here tomorrow? And it was a 14-hour drive. I was like, yeah, I could be there. And so I had to have all my gear and everything was already packed. So here's the thing, I had a big tub, had all my stuff in it, had ladders, everything. Emergency kit, first aid kit, the whole shebang. Everything was ready. Licenses were up to date, everything was auto pay, cash was already set aside, everything was ready. So what did I have to do? I just had to make a decision whether I wanted to go. It was that quick. And the reason why the decision is quick, guys, is as soon as they hang up the phone with you, they've already called another person and that position could be filled. I remember 1 or 2 catastrophes that I got called to. They were only deploying 3 people. 3 people were getting 50 claims each. That's what they needed. And then they said possibility for more. So if you hang up and say, oh, can I think about it? They're calling somebody else, and the first guy that says yes, he's got the job and you didn't. So big time miss out. So always be ready to answer that phone right then and there, and be ready to be on site within 24 hours. That's CAT work, guys. But the guys who get CAT work get the money, so be ready. Okay, so also you want to have all your car inspections done, your oil changes, your tires have to be in good shape. All of this needs to be done and upkept before the event occurs. So if you sign up and say, I want to be a CAT adjuster, don't let your tires get half bald before you decide that you're going to do something about it, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to be driving down that CAT event, running over branches and trees and all the debris that's laying on the ground, and you're going to get a flat tire. So it's going to happen every time. So you got to have new tires, keep them fresh, keep them pumped up, keep your emergency tire flat repair cans in your trunk, ready to go. You're always ready, okay? Guys, being prepared is about the most important part, besides finances, of being an adjuster. It's just, you know, if I go down the road and I get a flat, I got to be able to talk real quick, call up the insured, say, hey, I'm going to be 15 minutes late, put my fix-a-flat in it, at least get me to the house, get the inspection done, maybe even get you know, put a couple reschedule if I have to, get the tire fixed or delay them a half an hour, whatever it happens to be. But at least I'm not going to be sitting there going an hour. I don't have anything to pump this tire up with. I'm calling for a tow truck, all this other stuff. You don't want to get stuck with all that. So guys, woo, take a breather. That was 7 things that you guys need to do in order to get deployed. Any questions? Leave them in the comments. Thank you again, Daniel the Adjuster. Till the next time. Boom!